I am in Kitchener, Ontario, which is 100 kilometers west of the city of Toronto. And I will be walking through downtown Kitchener today, which is quite historic. And I am on the corner of Queen and Charles, and I will be walking towards the downtown hub of Kitchener. And Kitchener, when it first had its settlers from Germany, its original name, because of its German settlers, Kitchener was named Berlin. And then in 1912, the name Berlin was changed to Kitchener. And Kitchener is close to another small city known as Waterloo. And so often Kitchener and Waterloo are used together and are known as sister cities. So often you'll hear people say Kitchener, Waterloo, not just the city of Kitchener alone. And across the street from me here is the Walper Hotel. And it was built back in 1893 and restored in 2016 into a luxury boutique hotel. And right across the street here is a monument for Mel Brown. And there is a bench right beside it, so it's great for taking selfies and photographs. And it is called the Mel Brown Legacy Project. It's a tribute to the legendary blues guitarist Mel Brown, and he was born in Jackson, Mississippi in 1939. And he played with many famous musicians and bands, best known for his decade-plus stint in support of Bobby Blue Blonde. And Mel remained in Kitchener until his untimely death in 2009. And about 2 years ago, I did stay inside the Walper Hotel. And I think I may have experienced a paranormal activity around me, because this hotel in 1892 did burn to the ground, and that hotel was known as John Rote's Commercial Hotel. And on the sidewalk here, you can see the old name Berlin is what Kitchener used to be known as, and it says Berlin Opera House and Star Theater 1896 to 1925. But in 1892, the Walper Hotel burned to the ground, and unfortunately a number of folks did perish in that fire. And then the Walper Hotel was built here in 1893. It is now a luxury boutique hotel. And there is a sign on the wall just outside of the hotel.
I understand. They're the closest thing we got. By the way, they are not.
And I will show you some of my stay inside of this hotel from 2 years ago. And it was very luxurious. At the time, 2 years ago, I think it cost me a little over $250 Canadian. And let me show you some of my stay inside of the Walper Hotel here. From 2 years ago. And then the windows. Not much of a city view here, but we are on the 4th floor. And on the main floor at the corner of King and Queen is a cafe. And the old architecture from 1893 has been restored from the Walper Hotel. And this cafe is just gorgeous. Adjacent to the cafe in the Walper Hotel is a barber shop, and from the history of Kitchener, it has a sign that says Abel's on Queen. And then they also have restored the old elevators. Look at the woodwork on this elevator. And this old elevator here has been put out of commission, so you can't use it. It is not in service, but just incredible. And right from the main hub here, across the street, you have a Tim Hortons. Now, what Ontario City doesn't have a Tim Hortons? And I will walk towards the clock tower in Kitchener, which is a landmark here as well. And they do have very decorative areas where you can park your bike. And Kitchener has a population based on the census from I think it was 2021. There are approximately 250,000 people who reside in Kitchener. And Kitchener and Waterloo are known for their universities. Wilfrid Laurier University, as well as the University of Waterloo. It is known for its museums and historical buildings. as well as its tech sector. And Google has its headquarters here in Waterloo, and I will be showing you that as well. And so now I'm on King Street and Benton, and there in front of me there is the landmark, the clock tower. There goes the Grand Rapid Transit, which is a streetcar that runs from Kitchener to Waterloo. So if you don't have a car, the public transit in Kitchener is quite convenient. I do believe these streetcars run every 10 to 15 minutes, and they take you all the way across the city. And you do have to have a pass to use the Grand Rapid Transit, and it costs about $3 per ride, and you will just top up your card at one of their Grand Rapid Transit stations. And I hope to have a look inside of this building here. It is known as Conestoga College entrance. And I'm not sure if I can get inside. There's a little bridge there that takes you to the Grand Rapid Transit, and the Crown Plaza is right on the corner of King and there is the crossover. Let's have a look inside here. And I will make my way back to the main street. There are also Grand Rapid Transit buses. And Kitchener is a pretty affordable city compared to Toronto. And I am just walking down King Street, and this is the corner of King and Frederick Street. And surprisingly, Kitchener is a very clean city. You definitely get old town feels. There is the Frederick Station for Grand Rapid Transit. There is a lot of signage, which is quite helpful for folks who visit. There is the Grand Rapid Transit bus, and it is an electric bus. And like any city that evolves, you often get a lot of those Canadian chains popping up where old shops, mom and pop shops used to be. So right here on King Street, you have a Dollarama, which by its name, it sells very cheap Canadian products and some non-perishable items. There is a lot of development happening in and around Kitchener. Right in front of me there, you can see this new building popping up. And I will walk by the Walper Hotel. Coming down the street right now is one of the Kitchener fire trucks. You got a lot of little shops here on King Street. Full Circle Foods. Lots of sitting area in Kitchener, I've noticed as well. And again, it is only an hour and a half drive from Toronto. There's that Walper Hotel again. Another fire service truck. Very, very cool. And Kitchener is known for its museums, and right in front of me here is the museum, which shows artifacts and the history of Kitchener. There's another view of the Walper Hotel. They really did a beautiful job of restoring the hotel. And across the street there, you see some older architecture. Aside some newer building. Look at that. It's like a terrace. And at the bottom you have a yoga studio. And then an older building beside it. And a newer development right there attached to it on the corner. And the museum, right now I do believe they're showing a kaleidoscope exhibit inside of the museum. And Kitchener, because of its 18th century German settlers, has a rich history in terms of Germany. And one of the biggest festivals outside of Germany actually takes place here in Kitchener every year, and it is known as Oktoberfest. I don't see any recycling receptacles. This says garbage. Again, you've got more benches here, which I just love. I just love that they've got a lot of sitting area. There is one of their bike share or e-scooter share programs, and it's run by Neuron Mobility. And I had an opportunity to briefly test one of these out. And if you download the Neuron Mobility app, you for $1 can unlock these scooters and travel throughout Kitchener as well as Waterloo on one of these e-scooters. They cost about $1 to unlock and 39 cents per minute. Another older building. Look at the staircase on the outside of that building. And I've only been to Kitchener a few times, so I'm not really familiar with the city as much as I am familiar with the city of Toronto. Got a number of cafes here as well. Very old town feels here. A board game cafe here. And a lot of students who reside in Kitchener, Waterloo do visit Kitchener to shop and spend some leisure time. There is the Kitchener Bylaw Enforcement Division inside there. There's another older building here. And I will make my way back to the downtown area, which you basically can walk the downtown area, I would say, in 15-20 minutes. But it is such a beautiful little city west of Toronto, and there are a number of places you can stay. The Crown Plaza, the Walper Hotel, or if you choose not to stay in Kitchener, there are different hotels in and around its sister city, Waterloo. Look at this. Got a little outdoor sitting area here. It seems kind of out of place. It's really far from the cafe there. And I'm going to continue to walk on King Street, which is the main street in Kitchener. Got an outdoor patio here. This looks like it used to be an old movie theater. Let's get across the street here to have a better look at it. Got a Family Dollar and More, a restaurant, and a thrift boutique. Another outdoor patio here. And in the summer, you won't see too many folks in Kitchener outside of their big festivals. You've got a Second Look bookstore here. I'm going to make my way across the street. It's quite easy to jaywalk in Kitchener as there is very little traffic on this Thursday morning, June 12th, 2025. And one of their older buildings here. Let me zoom in and see when that was built. I do believe it says 1895. And a newer development across the street. There is a CBC Radio Canada office here, radio station 89.1 FM. And look at this older sewer system they have here along the road. In the background there, you can see the clock tower. It's across the street again on King Street in Kitchener. You've got a older building that has been turned into an Irish pub, Bobby O'Brien's Irish Pub. And it's got just a gorgeous patio here. And the historic building in the background. There goes the Waterloo Regional Police. Oh, that is interesting. It's a newer building, but I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like the facade has been retained with the brickwork. And the glass in front. And right here is Carl Zare Square. Let's go have a look. Which is Kitchener's main square. They have this lovely little fountain display, and there is Kitchener City Hall. So this is also a splash pad wading pool, and in the winter they turn this into an ice rink. And I will show you the Google headquarters, because Kitchener is well known for its tech sector. Kind of confused why they don't recycle here. 2 garbage cans. And that brings me to Water Street and King. So I am back at Frederick Grand Rapid Transit Station, and if you are traveling in Kitchener, you will need one of these Easy Go fare cards. And to get onto the Grand Rapid Transit, you will tap your card. It is about $3 per adult. And you can get on and off for 2 hours after you've tapped for free. I just love the Grand Rapid Transit in Kitchener, Waterloo. It just makes traveling through the sister cities so much easier. Right beside Central Station is the Google headquarters. And that is the new building there of the Google headquarters. And to the right is also a part of the headquarters. And at one time, this older building used to be a shoe factory. And inside Google headquarters, engineers work on creating new products for billions of folks throughout the world.